Good morning, fourth graders. I hope you're having a great Thursday so far. Today is June 25th, and it's also our last day of summer school. So after today, you're going to have a break for a while until we get back to school. Now, we are going to continue looking at two-step or multi-step problems. Multi-step problems mean you have two or more. Okay? So what we're going to be doing with these problems is reading carefully to figure out the steps we have to do to solve our problems. Okay? So let's go ahead and dive right in, taking a look at this very first word problem right here. Let me read this to you. It says, Mr. Parker has 982 pounds of grain. He feeds 240 pounds to his pigs and 460 pounds to his cows. How much grain does he have left? So we got a farming question, okay? So he's starting out with a bunch of grain. He's starting out with 982 pounds of grain. That's how much grain he has at the beginning. But he's feeding grain to his pigs and his cows. Now, when you're feeding grain, that grain's going away. You're not going to get that grain back, right? After your pigs and cows eat it. So we're talking about subtraction. So I would need to subtract 240 and I need to subtract 460, and then whatever I have left at the end is my answer. Okay, so I'm taking away the 240, I'm taking away the 460. Now, rather than have me subtract twice, I can just add together what the pigs eat and what the cows eat, right? So I could change this so that instead of subtracting twice, I'm gonna add once and then subtract. And I do that because most of the time, adding is a little bit easier than subtracting. It doesn't make that big of a difference, but if you can think of a way to make a problem easier for yourself and still get it right, why not? Okay, so let's go ahead and add how much the pigs and cows eat. So I'm going to have 240 plus 460, and we're going to subtract that to figure out. Okay? Sorry, we're going to add that to figure out. 0 plus 0 is 0. 4 plus 6 is 10. Regroup. And then 1 plus 2 is 3, and 3 plus 4 is 7. So it's going to add up to 700 pounds. That seems like a lot of food those pigs and cows are eating. I guess that's why they call them pigs and cows. But anyway, so we're going to take how much food he started with, 982. And now I'm going to take away this 700 pounds of food that his animals ate. And whatever is left is going to be our answer. Okay? 2 minus 0 is 2. 8 minus 0 is 8. 9 minus 7 is 2. So he's only going to have 282, LB is the abbreviation for pounds, left after his cows and pigs eat the food. So I always want to take a minute to make sure my answer sounds reasonable. Okay, so I'm starting out with 982, taking away about 200, and then taking away about another 500. So if I was estimating this, maybe 1,000 minus 700 would be 300. So if estimating 282 is really close to 300. It's really close to the estimate I just made. So I can be pretty comfortable that my answer at least makes sense. Okay, you always want to make sure you go back and think about if your answer makes sense, because lots of times it's really easy to catch your mistake. Like if I somehow had an answer that's more than what I started with, obviously I made a mistake, right? Or if I had an answer that doesn't seem like I took away enough, then I might have made a mistake. But you always want to at least ask yourself if your answer makes sense before you move on, okay? All right, so let's take a look at another problem. I'm not going to write this one down because if I did, I wouldn't have any time to talk about it, so I'm going to read it to you. All right, so I believe we are going to look at another farming type question. All right. It says, Peter has 4 horses. Each one eats 4 pounds of oats twice a day. Wow. How many pounds of oats does he need to feed his horses for 3 days? So they added a little twist at the end. They don't want just 1 day, they want 3 days. That's why it's really important that you read the question carefully, because you might think, oh, I've only got this one thing to do, and then skip the last part of that unless you're really careful. So let's go back and look at the numbers here. Peter has 4 horses, so I'm going to write that number down. He's got 4 horses. Okay, so it definitely helps to take some notes with these kind of problems as you go, okay? And each one eats 4 pounds twice a day. So 4 pounds that they eat, and they do that twice a day. Okay? And then they want to know how much they're going to eat for 3 days. Okay? So if I was going to put this together, I have 4 horses that each eat 4 pounds 2 times a day. So 4 pounds 2 times a day, that is 4 groups of 2. So it would be 4 times 2, which is 8. Okay? And plus, I need to multiply that by 4 because there are 4 horses that are eating that much each day, right? He has 4 horses and each one eats 4 pounds 2 times a day. And then I need to multiply whatever I get here times 3 because they want to know how much they're eating over 3 days. So I have 4 times 4 times 2 times 3. So a whole bunch of multiplying. Okay? We'll take it step by step. Now, if they're doing 4 pounds 2 times a day, 4 times 2 is 8. Okay? So if I go ahead and multiply 8 pounds of food times 4 horses, what is 4 times 8? Well, 4 times 8 is 32. Am I done? No, that's why I had to look at that question, because they want to know how much they eat for 3 days. So this is how much they eat in 1 day. They eat 32 pounds. The horses eat 32 pounds. And I need to figure out what 32 times 3 is. Okay? So I'm going to multiply. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. Wow. So they're going to eat a grand total of 96 pounds of grain. That seems like an awful lot. These animals eat a lot of food. They're worse than my German Shepherd. Now, once you get done watching this video, we have our practice for today, and the practice will be summer school, 4th grade math, June 25th. And you'll find that in Success Maker. Okay? And then we'll have our Zoom meeting at 10:30. So as you're going through those problems, if one of them is tricky to you, write it down, or like write the number down that you were doing, and just bring it to the meeting so I can help you out with that. Okay? Also, if you could please bring just another paper. I'm sure you bring that anyway, but another paper and just your pencil, because we'll do a little art project there too. Okay? Alrighty, so I hope that you have yourself a fantastic day. I hope that I see you here at 10:30.